Hi, I'm Ray, founder and partner at Credo. We love working with startups on the cutting edge. More importantly, we love working with startups that are solving really important problems. The problem that we're talking about today is massive. To give you a sense of scale, roughly 10 billion tons of freight moves through North America each year, and just about all of that will pass through logistics yards. Distribution yards are a critical link in the supply chain. Pretty much all the goods we buy online or in stores has to pass through them before they get to us. Their confined nature, dull, repetitive, and often hazardous work makes them a great candidate for autonomy. We think autonomy could be the next big innovation in transportation. It could bring more resiliency and velocity to a supply chain that's in dire need of both.
The supply chain symbol of 2021, container ships languishing off the California coast.
This is why we're putting the spotlight on Outrider and their autonomous driverless tech.
Outrider is reinventing the critical linkages in the global supply chain through autonomous yard operation. Yet we're able to streamline the flow of goods between the warehouse and the open road. This ongoing work together will accelerate improvements in efficiency and safety into the global supply chain.
The prospect of more efficiency couldn't come at a better time because we have a supply chain problem in the US. Over the years, we've grown accustomed to getting pretty much anything we want when we want it. The lengthening of the global supply chain has led to an increasingly interconnected global economy, which has fueled our appetite for more and more consumption. It's worked pretty well, that is until COVID wreaked havoc on the system. While some view this as a black swan event, others believe disruption of this kind is not only inevitable, but part of a new normal. Trade wars, extreme weather events, and labor shortages all point to a complex system that is inherently fragile. Facing this uncertain future, one viable option is to make the existing system more resilient. And one of the best tools we have to do this is through automation.
So first of all, Outrider is focused on autonomous yard operations. So there's 10 billion tons of freight moved on an annual basis around the country. Most of that's moved by truck. At one point or another, those vehicles pass through a distribution center where a tractor trailer will drop off a trailer. The contents of that trailer will then be unloaded.
Roughly 50,000 diesel yard trucks shuttle trailers back and forth between loading docks and parking spots within distribution yards on a daily basis. Every year in North America, these yard trucks emit 3.8 million metric tons of carbon dioxide, the equivalent of one coal-fired power plant. Plus, on-the-road trucks or semi-trucks keep their engines running while they wait up to 4 hours at distribution centers to drop off or pick up their next load. Combined, yard trucks and semi-trucks in distribution yards emit more carbon dioxide than 2 coal-fired power plants annually. This leads us to the first part of Outrider's solution. An automated future is one that will exist alongside an electric future.
From the beginning, Outrider was founded not only to automate all aspects of these yard operations, but also to deploy that automation on a superior electric truck platform and accelerate the retirement of these 50,000 diesel trucks that are idling and spewing out emissions for no reason on a daily basis.
Electrification has many benefits: savings on fuel, cleaner environments for those working and living around the yards, and an electric vehicle platform requires less moving parts than a traditional internal combustion engine, which is ideal for autonomous systems. Considering the current climate, automation couldn't have come at a better time.
The latest jobs report today offered mixed signals about the state of hiring. But one thing was clear: supply chain issues are one key challenge as companies compete for workers.
One of the biggest choke points in the supply chain is a lack of available workers to drive all the trucks. Some are estimating that the country is short as many as 80,000 workers, but nobody is quite sure why. A simple answer could be that the job is not very desirable. Distribution yards fit squarely in this category, with their chaotic environments rife with repetitive manual tasks, often performed in hazardous working conditions. In light of all this, automation presents a compelling solution, particularly if it could help people get away from jobs that nobody really wants anyways and into higher value roles. And here's how Outrider sees this happening.
Let's say you have a yard with 8 yard trucks. You've got to have 4 shifts of people to drive those 24 hours a day to keep this distribution yard moving. And this is hazardous, intense work. You are you're jolting these trucks against the trailers to hitch them on a constant basis. You're operating in heat, cold. You got to get in and out of a truck in a very dangerous environment where you have 80,000 pound pieces of equipment. So is that now you don't have the hassle of actually trying to find this labor, recruit, staff it around the clock when it's one of these classic, what they call D3 jobs, dull, dirty, dangerous jobs that people are tending to migrate away from. You also had to think about how that autonomous vehicle connected to and disconnected from these trailers. There's a hitching process and a process to release the brakes on the trailer. You had to think about how to safely dock these tractor trailers to loading bays. And you had to think about how to integrate all those trailer movements with the software systems inside the warehouses that were controlling what was going on in the warehouse, so you could put the right trailer at the right place.
So let's go ahead and close the loop. Outrider's zero-emissions autonomous solution involves converting electric yard trucks into level 4 autonomous vehicles. The Outrider system autonomously moves trailers to and from loading docks and parking spots. It hitches and unhitches trailers, robotically connects and disconnects trailer brake lines, interacts with loading docks, tracks trailer inventory and locations, and centrally manages and monitors all system functions. It's a system that's being tested at scale. With its recently opened 350,000 square foot testing facility in Colorado, its $118 million in investments, and strategic partnerships with some of the largest manufacturers and distributors of consumer packaged goods. Though their autonomous technology isn't the sexier robo-taxi variety, it might have an even greater impact on our bottom line.